Assalamu alaikum. You're watching the Kids Show with me, Sharmeen, Merali on IBN TV. Whether we like it or not, we all have to go through the exams fever in life. When you're at school or when at work, and this life itself is a big exam. But in today's show, we're going to focus on the exams in terms of in school and how most of us love that time of the year or we hate that time of the year. And also we are going to exchange ideas on revision techniques and what we can do to make it easier for us to revise and not be afraid of that time in school. So before we start, we'd like to introduce the participants today.
I am Sakina Noshad Manji. I am in Al-Muntazir Girls Primary School.
Okay.
My name is Zahra Mukhtar and I go to Al-Muntazir Girls Primary School.
Okay.
I'm Azhar Ali Shan and I go to Boys Primary School.
Okay. So we have with us here Azhar, Zahra and Sakina. Okay. So the first question for today's show is that when your teachers tell you that the exams are coming up, let's say next week or in 2 or 3 weeks, what's your reaction? Sakina?
I get nervous.
So you get nervous? Okay. Zahra?
I get tensed and nervous.
Two nervous, one tensed.
I panic
You panic. Okay. Hi, Azhar, tell me, why do you panic?
because you never know, it may be hard or it may be easy.
Okay. So, Zahra?
Because we feel that, okay, we don't know the answers, but we've understood the lesson. So, how can we not know the answers?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe you prepare from the last moment.
And then when it's the exam, oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's true. So I think it's fair to say that most of us get scared or tense to an exam. Although I'm sure there are some people who love that time of the year.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are. When you go to school, there are some students who look forward to the exams.
Yeah.
And some of I never used to like exams. I'm going to say not many people like that time, that exam time. Okay. So, now we know that, let's say, the exams are coming soon. The teacher tells you that there is an exam, let's say, a month from now. So, Zahra, tell me, how soon do you start revising?
I start to revise 2 to 3 weeks before the exam.
2 to 3 weeks before the exam. Okay. Azhar, you?
I start to revise on the day when the teacher tells there's exams coming.
Okay. So as soon as the teacher makes that announcement, you start that day.
Yeah.
Very good.
Me too.
You as well. Okay, fine. So, but do you also agree that there are some of us who study just before, let's say a week before or 2-3 days before the exams? Do you agree with that? And do you have an idea why that is so, Zahra?
Because we feel that, I know everything, so how will the exam be so hard? And then when it comes to 2-3 days before the exam, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what this thing is, I don't know how to answer this. So then you start revising in panic.
So sometimes when you think, you know everything, you also, when it comes to time, you panic, yeah? Azhar, do you agree with Zahra?
Yeah.
Okay. Sakina? Okay, fine. So then again, we can also say that sometimes some of the students can cope with that much pressure, so they're able to they study best just a week before. But generally, I think it's advisable that we study maybe 2 to 3 weeks before. Yeah, agreed? Yeah. Okay, fine. So now that we know that the exams are coming up, now comes the revision techniques and learning styles. How we revise. So, Sakina, you tell me, how do you revise?
I read and understand what I don't know.
You read and understand what you don't know. Alright. Zahra?
I read something from a certain topic which I don't understand. And then after that, I make my own notes. So before the exam, I read those notes and I understand what I don't understand. So it's easier for me.
It's easier for you. Okay, fine. So Sakina reads here and you write as well. And reads too.
I write in a rough book all the questions. And then I understand the answer and the question. and then I answer the questions I wrote in the rough book.
No. Okay, fine. What about, let's say, past papers? Because what you're doing technique is similar to like having a ready-made questions.
Yeah.
So your teacher gives you past papers of maybe last year.
Yeah.
Do you think it's helpful to you? I mean, do you think it would be helpful if the teacher did do that? I'm not sure if they do,
Yes.
but yeah.
Yeah.
You think it'd be helpful?
Yeah.
Sakina, what about you?
It's helpful.
It's helpful. Sarah?
I think it's helpful.
It's helpful. Okay. But do you think that sometimes maybe if we get the past papers, we think that we get used to those set of questions only, and when it's the exam time, sometimes they change the questions, they shuffle it about. Do you think that will cause a problem?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you think? What's the solution to that? Like, what do you think? Do you think that if we have the past papers and we make our own notes and read, that will make it easier?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, fine. Right. Now let's talk about writing techniques. Like, meaning like you say you write notes, but like do you use like different colors and that to highlight?
I write in a black, and then after I'm done, I highlight the important stuff in bright colors, so I read what's most important.
Very good.
Me too.
You too. You don't just highlight what you read, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sarah, what about you?
Same.
The same. And ever heard of sticky notes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys use that?
Yeah.
I think that's cool. Or whiteboard or blackboard.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's fair enough to say that like each of us have our own way of revising. Sometimes. Oh yeah. Question came. What about revising in a group? Sarah, what do you think about that?
It would be nice, but then everyone knows something and doesn't know something, so it'd be hard because if I know something and she doesn't know that thing, then we'd have to take more time to revise it. So it's better if you study alone sometimes.
Sometimes.
Or with someone grown up, like if you have an elder sister or your mom, makes you revise, then it's even better.
Very good.
Me too.
You too. Okay. Other
To
you.
study in a group is more good because, like, if I don't know any question and your friend knows, so he can make you understand the question.
Oh, see, the two different sides of the story here. Yeah, that's a very good point. And even Zara, you have a good point as well. Sometimes you think time gets wasted,
Get confused.
confused or distracted, I think.
Yeah, because then you say like, okay, she doesn't know it, so I'll do something else by the time. And then when she knows that thing, and you get back and you're like, okay, I forgot. So
Yeah.
it's a complete waste of time.
Complete waste of time. And you think it's a proper not waste of time.
Yeah.
So then again we have different ways of revising. And you also mentioned that if you have like a sibling or your parents or even your cousins, if they're older than you, that can also be a good help. Like
Yeah.
one-on-one tuition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Now, having said about the group, what do you think that boys and girls have different ways of revising? Also, since you're the only boy right now, do you think that boys and girls have different ways of revising?
No.
No. Why? Okay, you say no, then I'll ask you why later. I'll ask all of them, okay? So I'm ask you the question again. Okay. So Azhar, since you're the only boy in this group right now, do you think that boys and girls have different ways of revising?
No.
Okay, so we have a no over here. Sakina?
No.
So we have another no there. Sarah?
Yes.
Ha! One yes isn't. Okay, so let's start with you because you're the only one who's got yes.
Because boys are a bit more active and sportier than girls. Girls like to read a bit more than boys. So they like to do much more, and girls like to read much more. So it's a bit of a difference.
Bit of a difference. Okay. Azhar, do you agree with Zara? What she said?
Yes.
Do you think that you are more active rather than reading? Yeah. Okay. Fine. I'll get back to you. Sakina, what do you think? As to what Zara said? You agree with her?
Yeah.
You don't agree with everything, yeah? Good spirit. Okay. Right. Okay, Zara said that boys are more active. So you agree as well.
Yeah.
So being an active and sporty, how can you use that to revise? Like,
But sometimes boys are naughty.
boys are naughty. Do you agree with Sakina? She said boys are naughty.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. So I was asking you that since they say, let's say, they say that you are naughty, sporty, and active. Right? 3 things. Now with these 3 things, can you revise as well?
Yes.
You can. You can. So what I'm trying to say is that the girls read more, they sit down more. That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
What about you? Considering you're sporty, how can you mix revision with that?
I will revise and then play for some time or rest and then revise again. So it,
Okay, that comes to the question I wanted to say is that if you take out time to watch TV, play, do your other things when it's your revision time, is it a good idea or a bad idea? Sakina?
Bad idea.
Bad idea. Why is it a bad idea? Okay, why do you think if we watch TV or let's say play games when we're supposed to revise, just maybe for half an hour, why do you think that's bad? Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? You can't go into the word bad right now. I'm gonna ask her and him, and then I'll come and ask you again. Okay, by that time you think of your answer. Okay. Okay. Zara, what about you?
I think it's a good thing because you should spend more time revising, but you should always keep a bit of a break time for yourself because then sometimes reading too much can give you a headache. And what if you learn something new while you're doing something? Like what if you're watching TV and something educational comes on and you learn something that you've never learned before?
Very good. I really like that point. Keep that up.
And plus you should always have a break because sometimes you can get a huge headache or something.
So, but the headache and learning something educational. Other?
Same.
Same. Anything else?
No.
No. Right. Sakina, back to you. You were the only one who said it's bad. These two said it's a good idea. There must be a reason why you're thinking it's a bad idea. Okay. Do you think that if we take our time to watch TV and play games, we forget what we're revising? Is that what you want to say? Okay. But don't you also think that if we revise too much, we forget what we're doing around us? So, do you agree with that? If we get to, because I must say, I've met or I've come across some of like students who study so much that you have to force them to go and eat, take a lunch break or dinner. And as soon as they're finished eating, you just blink your eyes and they've already gone to study. Now, is that bad or is that good? That they even forget to eat? Bad. See, that is bad. So what we're trying to say is that everything has a balance in life, right? That's a key word, balance. And we should revise. No, maybe we should. Let's say percentage-wise, we can do 70% revision, 30% break. Is that good enough?
Yeah.
That's fair, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, the reason why I asked this question is because, as I mentioned, some of us or some of the students, they take all the time they have to revise and they forget that it's time to eat or, forget to spend their time with their family and prayers as well sometimes. You kind of delay it because you think, let me finish this topic before I start a new topic. Some people, not saying all of them. Yeah? So we're just trying to say that there should be a balance in life so that, like Zara said, you don't get headache in life. And when you're watching TV or you're interacting with someone, you might even learn something that important that you should have learned while you're studying. Right? Zara, any points?
Even I revised with a little break, and once my older sister was revising for her exam, and she revised so much without a single break. She didn't eat too much, she didn't drink too much, that she fell sick and she couldn't go to her exams.
Okay, so we have a proper example here. As I was saying, that sometimes you get so engrossed in your revision that when it comes to the exam, it's no point because you're sick and you can't even go to school and do the exam. So it's a waste of your health and time. Very good one. Is there anything you want to add?
No.
No. Okay. So now we can say that balance is important. Okay, fine. Right. Okay. Going back to the group, the revising group. Let's say if you're at school and you see somebody who's struggling a lot to revise, or he or she has a difficult time revising. Zara, tell me, what would you do to help that person?
First, I go and ask that person where the difficulty is, in what. When the person tells me, I'll help them solve their difficulty so they understand what they don't understand, so it's much easier for them.
Okay, good. Sakina?
Me too.
No, me too. You have to come with 1 point. Why? What you as Sakina would do?
Should try to help him or her.
Yeah, to help him or her, that's good. But what would you do? Like Sarah said, she would go and ask them what difficulties you are having. And then as she knows, she would help. What about you?
I would ask them and then solve their problem.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's fine. Okay. Answer?
I will ask a person what's the difficult, and I will make him or her understand the question.
Okay. So that's fair enough. So that if I ever get stuck in life, I ask you three to help me.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. No problem. So now we've talked a bit about how much to study and what kind of techniques to. So let's try and bring a little bit of Islamic perspective to it. Okay? Knowledge, as you know, in Islam is really very important. Yeah?
Yeah.
And if you go to majlis and lectures, most of them always talk about how much knowledge. And they say that even though you've studied, let's say you've graduated, that doesn't mean that you finish. You still continue.
You can still learn more.
Yeah. Meaning, like you said, when you watch TV and you hear, it's education because you learn something, information, like documentaries and stuff. When you talk to people, you learn something. So that's knowledge. So, as knowledge is important in Islam, I'm sure that there must be surahs and the significance of reciting a Quran before the exam starting. That would help us, right? Right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Zara, do you know any, or do you in particular recite a certain surah before exams?
Yeah, I prefer Surah Qalam, and my sister recited Surah Muzammil.
Okay. So we have here Surah Qalam and Surah Muzammil. So that will help in during revision and in exam. Azhar, do you have any you recite in particular, or you know that this surah can help?
Surah Qalam.
Surah Qalam. Okay. Sakina? So I'm guessing Qalam means pen, right? Or ink pen. So let's say that if we have exams or revision, we should recite Surah Qalam. Okay, so when it's a time for exams, or even when we're revising, we should recite Surah Qalam and Surah. And I also think that just before the exam, if you recite Dua Hujjat, that will also be very helpful.
Yeah.
And frankly speaking, even if you just pray a little your own message,
Yeah.
just before you start exam, that's also good enough, yeah? Yeah. I'm sure each of us have our own way of talking. Asking for guidance and that. Okay. What about surahs? What about just reading the Quran like that, like reading a page or two?
Like
Do you think?
cramming?
No, just let's say you're going to start your revision in the morning. 9 o'clock, is that too early? Let's say, for example, you're going to revise at 9 o'clock in the morning, or 10, when you don't have school.
Yeah.
And you take out the Quran, just read a couple of pages, like that, and then you start. Do you think that will be good?
Without understanding?
No, not without understanding. For example, just like your You get my point,
Yeah.
right? Just like to refresh yourself.
Oh,
Yeah, not to understand the Quran. I mean, just like you, yeah, giving you 5 minutes to recite Quran. All you do is
Yeah.
before revision. Do you think that? And then when you finish revision, maybe also we can recite 1 or 2 pages of Quran, so that you know Allah is also happy that you're taking time out to recite 2 pages of Quran or surahs. And namaz is obviously there. Yeah? Okay. Speaking of namaz, what about if we do like hajat namaz? Do you guys do that?
Yeah.
Yeah? I used to do that when I had my exams. So like the night before, or if it's sometimes the exams are in the afternoon, if I have time, pray just before that. Do you think that would also be a good advice?
some
Yeah.
people, they think that just without revising and just praying to God, okay, I'm just going to pass this test because I don't revise, and I'm just praying to God so He'll help me out. That's not good. You're supposed to revise. You're supposed to put your hard work in and as well pray.
If you
So,
keep your hard work, Allah will definitely help you.
Very good point, eh? Both of you. Azra, I think so. You agree with them, yeah? I'm hoping you do, yeah. It's true. That haven't you heard when they say if you take 1 step towards Allah, if you take 1 step, He takes 10 steps towards you.
Yeah.
So, like you say, if you take that initiative to revise and pray, then God will help you 10 times more. But if you just see, it's true actually, it's a very good point, Zara, that sometimes we just take it for granted, that we think, let's just sit and we pray, and then we pass the exam. But Lord, that shouldn't be the case. We should also,
put
take
some work in it.
Yes, put some work, put some effort in. Yes, okay. We're about to wrap up the show, today's show. So before we say our goodbyes, do you have anything else you would like to say, Sarah? Like a small advice?
No one can be perfect
Okay.
because everyone makes mistakes. So sometimes you recite, you pray, you revise, then sometimes you just make a small mistake. Maybe that's just because everyone's not always perfect. So you should always be a bit more careful than usual.
Okay, very good. Sakina? Anything you want to say? Something about maybe revising or something about what you should do just before an exam? No, we forgot. Always drink a glass of water or a bottle of water before exam because your concentration goes up, yeah? Okay, so Sakina, that's your point for today, yeah? Drink water before the exam. Azhar? No, you have to have one thing to say. No? Chocolate? Maybe eat chocolate before the exam? Not a good idea? No. See? Okay. Right. What about this one quick thing? That when you're revising, do you like to eat junk food or do you eat junk food while you're revising? No? Nobody does?
Maybe like just a bit.
Just a bit, yeah.
Like if you say chocolates, then maybe few, like 2 to 3.
Just to keep you going, yeah?
Yeah, something energetic.
Very good, energetic, yeah. Okay, so now let's add while you're doing the enhanced revision, most of you, add a little bit of sugar in life, or not sugar, junk food. What am I saying? I'll probably be kicked out. Not junk food, but something energetic to keep you going so you don't fall get drained out to get a headache. Yeah? And lots of water in between study.
Or always keep something near you, so when you're done, when you need something in the middle, then you just, if like water, then you just open your bottle or you drink your glass and drink some water.
Okay, perfect. So I hope so for today's show, I hope all of you who watched the show got an idea of the exam fever in life. Like everybody has to go through it, and some of us love it, some of us don't love it at all. And I hope that the revision techniques the participants came up with today could also help you for those who are going through the rough time for exams. And remember that as much as you want to revise, take some time out for yourself and for others so that you don't get completely lost in the world. And thank you very much, and wassalam.